cardio is the best form of exercise for fat loss. It's actually one of the worst.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited today about this show because I'm here with one of my best friends, Dusty. And not only is he one of my best friends, but he is the head nutrition coach at Hybrid Fitness. He does an amazing job with our members and clients. And Dusty has quite a story himself, a transformation story that goes back quite a long time. And we're going to dig into that today because it's extremely inspiring. And if you're a person right now who is maybe just getting started with your fitness or you've been on it for a little bit, I know that the story will inspire you and will help you take more consistent action. And hey, you may even pick up a tip or two along the way. So with that being said, Dusty, everybody. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Tell the people a little bit more about yourself.
I'm 32 years old. Growing up, I dealt with weight issues basically through, I would say, middle school and up. And then it just got to a point where after I graduated, a couple years after I graduated, it just became too much for me, and I did something about it, or at least I tried to at the time. And I did try and do something about it during high school, but it didn't work so well. So, but yeah, that led me to kind of get into, the fitness thing and the nutrition thing. And the more I learned, the more I loved it. And the more I saw kind of what it did for me, the more I wanted to help other people. And that kind of, that's when I reached out to you. What was it, about a year ago, a little over a year ago now? And
yeah,
I'm here now.
Cool. So you were in high school and you're overweight, and then you kind of just got after it. And along that process of getting after it and making the transformation, you really became passionate about everything that there was between fitness and nutrition, and that drove you to want to help other people do the same thing.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, in a nutshell, that's it.
Awesome. All right, cool. Yeah, it was crazy. So a year ago is about when we met. We had an event, and Jordan Syatt was awesome enough to come to our gym and give a presentation to all of our members, but then also do a little like business mentorship afterwards. And Dusty signed up for it. He was like super pumped that Jordan Syatt would come into like small town Maine, and Dusty and I sat beside each other, and that's where we met, and it's history from there, I guess. So so tell me, like, let's go back to high school when you were,
Okay.
or how about this? You tell me, like, what was your lowest point? Tell me what your lowest point was. Like, where was it? When was it? What did it feel like?
Well, my lowest point was when it was actually after high school. And I think I had hit my highest weight at that point. I want to say it was like 2011, 2012, something like that. But I saw a video. I was going through my phone and I saw a video of myself, and I was just like, damn, I've got a problem and I need to fix it. Like, I looked unhappy. I looked unhealthy. I mean, it was just, that was the moment. And I remember it as, like it was yesterday, looking at that video. And that was the moment that I made the promise to myself that I was going to change. And I went through doing all the wrong things, but I think now I've got a good understanding of how to approach it better so I can help other people. And that's another reason why I want to help people, is because I took the wrong routes and several of them. So yeah, that was probably the lowest point. It was about 8 years ago now.
Okay, gotcha. So 8 years ago, you saw a video of yourself and you're like, something needs to change.
Yeah, so I'll be completely transparent. I don't know if you've ever seen The Office. How there's that one episode where they're tossing cheese balls in each other's mouths. So there, so me and a bunch of friends tried to do different, get cheese balls in each other's mouths in different like ridiculous ways, like bouncing them off the walls and stuff. And those were the videos. And I was just looking at them. I was just sickened by by what we were
You're
doing, how I looked, and it was an embarrassment. But yeah, that was it.
you're just picking cheese balls out of the sky.
Oh, it was, yeah. I mean, and I certainly wasn't going to miss any. That's for sure.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so that was 8 years ago. And so when you decided that you wanted to make a change, what was the first thing you did?
Um, so, I mean, obviously, eating better, healthier foods. I hate labeling food healthy. But at least having, I mean, we all have an understanding of what we think is healthy, and that's basically vegetables and nuts and whatever, just not fried food, not processed stuff, not eating out, all that stuff. So I tried changing up my diet a little bit like that, thinking I was eating healthier, and also the first step was finding a workout program. Man, I really dislike that I did this, but it gives me a better how
Better
do I want
story
to
to
word it?
tell, maybe?
Yeah, a better story, and I appreciate what I went through a little more. But I'm sure everybody's familiar with Beachbody, and I saw an ad for Insanity, so I thought, hey, why not? Right? Let's try it. Those guys are getting ripped doing it. Why can't this 230-pound chunk nugget, do it at home? So I I didn't have a lot of money, so I may or may not have found a way of getting around the cost of it. But me and a buddy of mine, he wanted to do it as well, and so we did it together. And honestly, I think doing it at the same time really helped, because I probably would have I would have given up. It was way too much for somebody like myself with no previous experience with doing any sort of exercise. I wasn't very athletic. I mean, I played basketball at a younger age, but as soon as I started putting on weight, like I stopped. But yeah, I shouldn't have been doing that. But that was kind of the first thing, was finding that workout program to keep me going, and just basically eating what I thought at the time was better.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
yeah.
So your first step was you saw the ad and you did Insanity, and you did it with a partner. You did it with a friend who also wanted to do it. And then you also started eating what you considered healthy. And like right before you just said that, you said you don't like calling or labeling foods healthy or not healthy. Why is that?
Because I honestly, I think that all foods can be healthy. I mean, it depends on the situation and the context of it. I mean, I think a piece of cake can be just as healthy as a salad. And what I mean by that is, let's say, you have, it's your niece's birthday or something, right? And you're at a birthday party and people want you, like, have a piece of cake. And you're like, no, I can't have that. Well, I think it's healthier at that point in that situation to enjoy the piece of cake with family. It's a celebration. So it's not just the content value of what you're putting in your body, but kind of the situational value as well. So I tend to, I like to refer to food as either more nutritious or less nutritious. So depending on the situation, do I think that, ice cream could be healthy? Sure. I mean, it's not very nutrient dense, but I think it could be healthy.
Gotcha. It sounds like when you talk about healthy, you're talking about not only your physical body, but your mental health as well. So, if you're at a birthday party, and like you really want a piece of cake, and like, you've done really well like on your goals all week, it like it's probably like really okay for you. It'll be good for your mental health to like have a slice of cake and not like
Yeah.
over restrict. It's not a
Yes.
bad thing necessarily for your health, but it definitely can be if it causes you to like binge later. Like that's not a good relationship for the food.
Right. I think people kind of, they put blinders on and get kind of tunnel vision with food and think of it more so as, it's not healthy, I can't eat it, when in fact there's far more than just like the content of the food itself. When it comes down to it, it's the relationship with food, it's the mental aspect. There's so many factors, when it comes to this, that you can't just rely on, the nutrient content, so to speak, or the macronutrient content, or how many calories, whatever. Like it just, there's more to it than just the physical body of the food itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely attest to that with that Dairy Queen challenge that I just recently did. So, hey, the nutritional content of a Blizzard every day is probably not what you would always prescribe, right? But if you're trying to have somebody lose weight, but I tell you, like for the craving end of things and for like my mental health, it was really awesome, and I was still able to lose weight. I did not crave anything for the total 30 days because every day I'm like, yeah, I'm like having cream, like negotiating. I have to, or else I am failing.
Yep.
Losing
And
my mind.
honestly, that's what I tell all clients to do, is make sure that you are eating, whatever you really, really enjoy. Like for the most part, we're going to focus on those nutrient dense foods, but like, the 10%, the other 10% of the time, like let's get in, some of that ice cream if you really, really enjoy it, or chips, or, whatever. Like find a way to fit it in, because if you don't, it's gonna be a problem later.
So what do you say to the mom that's, 40 or so, and she's stressed out, she got kids at home, end of the day, and like she, just loves her wine, 2 to 3 glasses a night. Like what do you say to her if her goal is to lose weight and live a healthier lifestyle?
I mean, basically find a way to incorporate it. 2 to 3 glasses a night, maybe not so much. Maybe, depending on how she would want to approach it. I mean, you could save it for the weekend, or if it's something that you do like to enjoy every night, have a small glass, with dinner, or, just try not to do the 2 to 3 every day. It adds up, and alcohol is a whole nother monster anyway. So I'd probably also recommend not going crazy with the fats, the fattier foods around drinking that. So
Gotcha. Yeah. And also, if you're drinking 2 to 3 glasses of wine, it's probably actually like 4 to 6 because nobody actually like fills their
yeah,
glass with what's considered a
yeah.
glass.
Measure out 8 ounces, and it's gonna surprise the hell out of you.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, that's it. But okay, so continuing on with your story. So you go through insanity with your body and you're eating healthy, and what happens then?
Uh, I lost a shit ton of weight.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, I like right out the gate. I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen Insanity. I mean, it's pretty popular, but all it is you're just jumping around your living room, getting your heart rate up, sweating like a maniac, burning calories. Like there's no structure to it. It's just moving to burn calories, and that's all I did. And I restricted my calories a lot. Looking back at it, if I remember correctly, the program itself actually, this was my first introduction to counting calories, so to speak. I know I didn't do it properly, but the program itself was telling me to eat 1,400 calories while doing this insane workout. So at the time I thought it was 1,400 calories, but not knowing what I know now, I'm sure it was way more, but it was still putting me in a giant deficit. So that's why I lost a ton of weight. I'm trying to think. what I went from. When I started, I was around 225 to 230 pounds. And by the end of it, I want to say like 175, 180, something
Wow.
like
So you
that.
lost like
Yeah.
50 pounds.
I dropped a
Gotcha.
lot of weight.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I'm sure the initial 10 to 15, as we know, was water weight, but I mean, still, you're losing, 40, 50 pounds. That a lot of that's body fat, and you could tell I was kind of getting on to that like skinny fat kind of look because I wasn't building any muscle. I mean, there was a little bit of resistance training in the program, but with so much cardio, like, and there was no emphasis on protein in the diet or anything. So it was really poorly structured, and that's why I really don't recommend that type of stuff. But it was entry. It was my way in to getting healthier and
Yeah. So,
exercising.
so,
So
so other than the skinny fat part that you mentioned, where you felt like you got to this point where you just had lost a significant amount of muscle mass, um, what's wrong with like losing 50 pounds in that way and the amount of time that you did, like in your head, in the way you're delivering it? It sounds like you're like, yeah, this is how I got started, but at the same time, I wish I had done it differently. Oh,
because it doesn't solve the issue. The issue
okay.
isn't the issue isn't that I have 50 pounds of body fat that I want to lose. The issue is that I don't know how to eat. It's not like when you embark on these journeys, like, you need to change your mindset and the way you live, not just, restrict everything and change everything, throw the kitchen sink at it for 3 or 4 months, lose 50 pounds, and then go back to what you were doing before. And that's exactly what happened after this. But it's just not sustainable. If you can't sustain it, then you're just gonna, like I said, you're just gonna go back to where you were before, and it's just a waste of time at that point.
Gotcha. Okay, so you lost 50 pounds, but you really hadn't found a long-term solution at this point. You just like gave it everything you have and saw some great progress, but you hadn't solved the main problem. So what did you do after that?
So after that program, I kind of just didn't do anything for a while.
Hmm.
It was, hey, I finished it. I was extremely proud of myself. I mean, it was so freaking hard. If I didn't have somebody, doing it at the same time as me, I would have given up. I mean, waking up early and jumping around my living room, starving myself, like it was hell. And I think it's honestly why I hate cardio so damn much today.
I was trying to
Like,
get you into cardio yesterday, and you're like, Hunter, no.
yeah,
I'm like, dude, just 7 minutes, man. Just do it. I was trying to get him to, I was talking about the ab challenge. We do the cardio workouts. He wouldn't even do seven. Wouldn't even do 7 minutes.
like I, I'll go for a walk and, like, maybe hiking, or if I find like a sport that I like to play, like basketball or tennis or something like that, as long as I find enjoyment. But man, you are not going to catch me out there running around. No way. And no burpees for this guy. I know that. So
Yeah, insanity ruined that for you. Okay.
absolutely.
So the other part we wanted to talk about in the talk today was not only the physical transformation that you had, and we're not with that, but also your mindset. And you mentioned you were in a very negative place. Tell me more about that.
So the negativity kind of, it went back to high school. I just, being overweight, I people make fun of overweight kids. That's just it happens. It's honestly, it's too bad, but it happens. And I was kind of on the shitty end of that deal. So confidence kind of went down with that. I was never really outgoing, and I think it just kind of like snowballed, you know, low confidence, not very outgoing. And then like never, never being the type to talk to girls and stuff like that. It was a recipe for disaster. And I think a lot of it was me getting in my own head. Um, but I just kind of kept to myself. I had a very, very small group of friends. And that's just how I kept it. I wasn't outgoing at all. And I feel like the weight really kind of held me back a little bit. Because as soon as I lost the weight for the most part, I feel like I kind of came out of my shell. But yeah, I was very, very dark person, very negative. And I'm sure that some of my older friends from those times can attest to that. And it's unfortunate, but I don't regret it because it's kind of brought me to where I am, and I kind of like who I am now. So,
Awesome. I like who you are now too.
well, thanks, man.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you had lost the 50 pounds. With that, you felt like you out of your shell. Like it really did help your mindset and move in more of
Yeah,
a positive direction.
yeah. I mean, if anybody loses 50 pounds, I guarantee you they're going to feel better. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so you lost 50 pounds. Uh, your mindset is better. It's in a better place. You're thinking more positive thoughts. You're probably dealing with stress in better, in a better way. Maybe a more positive outlook for like the future. Then what did you do?
so I kind of I noticed after excuse me, the little time off that I took after doing the insanity program. I did notice that my habits were just they were going back to where they were before. I was still way more mindful and self-aware. So I did try and eat again what I thought was better and healthy at the time. But I did notice a scale, you know, was starting to come up a little bit. And I didn't like how I felt or looked. So I was like, okay, time to hit another 3 month program. let's let's see what Beachbody has to offer this time. So I think, geez, what did I do? The same guy that did Insanity, he had another one. I think it was
Sean
called
T.
like, yeah, Sean T. Um, Focus T25. That was another. It was a. What I liked about this one was it was only 25 minutes of pure hell cardio. So I was like, well, I can do 25 minutes. So I did another, you know, 3 months of dancing around my living room and got back, you know, back to where I was. I got a little lower actually. And then I started just I didn't really follow it after I finished the program initially. I didn't follow it to a T, no pun intended. Uh, but I did it kind of just like I did a workout here or there just to try and maintain where I was at. And that led to getting into what did I do next? I did a P90X3 as well. And that was where things changed for me because that program, again, not the greatest structured program ever, but it incorporated a little bit of weights. So I started, you know, doing a little bit with dumbbells, and I'm like, okay, so I'm getting stronger. I'm starting to see a little muscle definition here. There's something to this. And that just sent me down the rabbit hole of discovering resistance training and working, you know, 12-hour shifts, night shifts. Sometimes you get a little bored. I spent a lot of time on my phone doing research. And I came across Mike Matthews. To this day, I swear to God, I owe that guy everything. And I just read his articles, and it just kind of like it shattered my paradigm on what you needed to do in order to, you know, get fit and stay fit and live a healthy life. So I read his articles, I bought his books. It almost turned into a religion at the time. And his book offered a workout program, a resistance strength training program. But I noticed that we didn't really have any gyms around here. So I built a home gym in my basement. I bought a squat rack, barbell, bought dumbbells. I bought it all, and I followed this program. And yeah, that was kind of the next step. There was finding resistance training, and lifting weights, and it's been my love ever since.
And then you got ripped, and stories, end of story.
I wouldn't say ripped,
Oh,
but sure.
okay, awesome. So yeah, so you did P90X, and it introduced you to weight training, and you were like, "This is way better than this insanity shit. Like, this is
Yeah.
not cardio." I mean, P90X was cardio, but you get a little taste, and then you did
Oh,
research
yeah.
stuff up, yeah, and then you found Mike Matthews and followed his stuff and got on a more like structured plan under him,
Yeah.
and then ever since then you've just like fallen in love with the science and everything.
Yep.
Sounds like. Okay, cool. And then along that way, you've dropped an additional weight and you've gotten stronger, and your body is just transformed.
Yep. I actually
Cool. Okay.
did. I hit a low though during the weight
Oh,
training time.
gotcha.
It, yeah, it was. So when I started, I got very, very. Let's see. I very strict in what I was doing. So with the diet, it wasn't just fitness. When I found Mike Matthews, it was diet, nutrition, and the workout thing. So I learned about macros, calories, all that stuff, and I followed that to a T. And I got actually to a point where I was too scared to eat a piece of candy corn on Halloween. So it put me. I kind of went the other way a little bit. As much as I really enjoyed the resistance training and eating properly, it actually put me in a whole different mindset. It was very fear based with food, and I ended up hitting an incredible low with my weight. I mean, I got down to 145 pounds. I mean, you've seen the pictures. I looked sick, and so then I had to make another shift and find a better relationship with food and exercise. So
Mhm. Gotcha. And so you've done that. You've kind of seen both extremes, and in the 8 years, you've now maintained the results that you got, but now you've been able to do it in a sustainable way that's good for your body and also good for your mind.
I think so. I don't think I'm
Yeah.
fully there. I'm constantly working at it, but I'm in such a better place than I was even a year or two ago. Scared to put weight on, scared to see the scale go up. But once you start getting stronger and seeing that like you're building muscle, like that stuff just doesn't matter anymore.
Hmm.
It's hard to get over though. The mental, the psychological aspect of it. Growing up overweight to now, you got to where you wanted to be weight wise, and now you're starting to see that scale go up again. It's definitely a mental chess game, and it takes time and a lot of work.
Gotcha. Okay. So transitioning now, you've had the opportunity to work with a lot of adults uh, with their nutrition and individuals. What are some of what if you could give me like three tips or like the three things that you'd want to focus on if I'm just a person who wants to lose 20 pounds, I want to get fitter, I want to feel better, have more energy, what would you tell me to do in those three tips?
So, is this coming from somebody that's brand new to wanting to lose weight and exercise, or?
Yeah, maybe they dabbled or two in the past, but they're a little bit older now. It's not seeming to coming off as easy.
Yeah.
They maybe played sports in high school. They played JV baseball their sophomore year, uh, but that's about it.
So 3 tips. Learn to approach exercise and nutrition, um, like because you love your body, not because you hate it. Because if you don't, you're going to develop poor relationships with nutrition and exercise. And it's just going to cause bigger problems down the road. I mean, you may be able to lose, a little bit or even all the weight that you want to, but it's not going to stick. And it's a mental game, and there's a lot to it. So really focus on doing things because you love yourself, not because you hate yourself. Two.
Can I stop you at that one really quick? I have a question.
Yeah.
So what if I look in the mirror though, and I'm just absolutely disgusted with myself?
Yep.
Like how
Well,
do I love myself then?
you got to learn to love who you are, not what you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you see in the mirror, that's not who you are, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
just the body that you have. You may and we want to go through these changes because we're unhappy with our bodies, and that's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's two separate things.
Love the person you are, not the vehicle in which you're living in. I mean,
Correct.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Tip number 2.
Tip 2, kind of forget everything that you've ever learned about nutrition and exercise, because probably the majority of what you know is wrong. You don't need to hammer your body with cardio and exercise to lose body fat. In fact, kind of I don't recommend chasing losing body fat with exercise. I think that's a bad place to be. Just focus on building sustainable habits through nutrition first. Make some changes, very small changes, and the rest will, you'll build upon that, and that's the important thing.
Gotcha. What are one of the first changes that you would make in nutrition?
Nutrition. I just made a video about this today. So most people think that they need, when they embark on their fitness journey, they need to take things away from their diet and make, drastic changes. But in fact, I like to add things. I don't like to start taking away right off the bat. And what I like to add is protein, prioritizing protein, number one. So, get as much protein as you can, make that the priority, and the base of your diet, and add vegetables, eat more vegetables, try and get some with every meal. There's really nobody out there that eats enough vegetables. Let's be honest. And then the third thing would be is to add more water, and properly hydrate. So I think starting there, adding those 3 things instead of starting to take away, what that does is if you're focused more on adding those things, you're probably not going to be eating the less nutrient foods, less nutritious foods rather, that you were eating before. So you're going to organically be lowering your calorie intake just because you're focusing on the other things.
Gotcha. So instead of saying I can only have 20 grams of carbs today, it would be, hey, I'm going to get my protein, my veggies, and drink plenty of water. And then naturally you'll probably eat less sugary carbs or less calories.
Correct. Because I mean, as you know, I mean, we both know protein and vegetables are super filling, right? So if you're basing your eating habits off of if you're hungry or not, you're going to be full after eating a good amount of protein and some vegetables. So you're probably not going to reach for those snacks, the fattier, higher carb, sugary snacks that you might have been before.
Okay, gotcha. And then what's tip 3? I know we went on a
that was kind of a unorganized tip 2, but tip 3, I don't know. I just move more. I mean, there's so many tips that are going through my head right now. Like, I don't necessarily, I wouldn't say these are like my top tips, but just move, walk, go for walks. Yeah. Like, a 10-minute walk after you eat, or like a half hour, 1.5 hour walk every day, or whatever it takes to get your steps up. So like little things that I do, I'll go for a walk in the morning if I have time, or I have two, this sounds ridiculous. I have two bathrooms in my house. One's upstairs, one's downstairs. If I'm downstairs, I use the bathroom that's upstairs. If I'm upstairs, I use the bathroom that's downstairs, because it forces me to get more steps. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it all adds up. Park further away when you go grocery shopping. Like, I mean, I park in the furthest spot possible. Not only is it good for getting steps, but you get the crazy people that leave their carts out there, so you don't ding up your vehicle either. But yeah, just doing different things to get more steps. It all adds up.
Gotcha. No, I feel you on the bathroom thing. See, I normally pick the bathroom that has a squatty potty in it. It just makes things a little easier, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, maybe I'll start to work that tip into my day. Awesome.
Yeah,
So
maybe it's time to invest in another squatty potty.
that's a good point. Yeah, then I can get more steps in. It'll be totally worth it. Okay, so there are the tips. The first tip was do not try and burn off your calories through exercise. Tip 2, I'm having a hard time recapping tip 2. It was a lot.
Yeah,
It was a lot. It was nutrition, along the lines of nutrition.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
eating,
It was adding things into the diet instead of taking
adding,
away.
not removing. I love that so much. Uh, Subtraction through addition. And then the third thing is move more.
Yep.
So let's move into a fun portion here. A little fun. Not that this hasn't been fun, but something a little extra spicy. And it's not tacos. Sorry. What are some myths that you hear that make you want to pull your hair out under that Under Armour hat?
What hair I have left?
Yeah.
Let's see. Goodness, put me on the spot here. I think one of my least favorite, one that really pisses me off, is the whole carbs make you fat. And I see this, honestly, I've probably heard this from every client, is, should I lower my carbs? No, no, you shouldn't. Just, I mean, lower your calories. I mean, you can do that through lowering your carbohydrates, but carbs don't make you fat. It's Carbs will make you hold on to water, and that's why people get so scared when they have a high carb day, and the next day they hop on the scale and it shoots through the roof. Well, it's not body fat that you gained overnight. You're just holding on to water. So I think what it is for every 1 gram of carbohydrate, your body holds it takes 3 grams of water to process that. So I mean, if you have a super hard carb heavy day, like, that's a lot of water your body's going to hold on to. But that's all it is water. So no, carbs don't make you fat. Eating more calories than your body needs is what makes you store body fat. So that's a frustrating one for sure.
Yeah, I've heard that several times, and I just kind of like cringe a little bit, and then I'm very nice about it after. But oh, I chose this food because it only had 5 grams of carbs, and the other one had 7 grams of carbs. I'm like, it doesn't. It's calories, and
Yeah.
eating foods that makes you full. So I guess a situation that not a situation, but something that would not go against what you're saying, but maybe kind of contradict it would be, all right, like, yeah, so I could just eat all day. I could eat sugar and carbs all day. Well, that might not be a good idea, because it'll probably not make you very full. And so you're satiated, and therefore you're going to have a higher calorie intake. But it wasn't the carbs, it was just the calories. The nice thing about protein, the nice thing about veggies, right, is, hey, they may be lower in carbs, but that's not why they're good. It's just because they're filling. So carbs could be an issue if you feel like you just can't put a stop to it. That might just be a test of mental fortitude. And in that case, what I would suggest, so it's like potato chips, right? Man, my go-to. I love it. If you want potato chips, put it in a separate container. Don't bring the bag with you to the TV. Not good, because it never ends well, unless, of course. I mean, sometimes it's really good. I mean, especially if you got the guacamole and the avocado with the chips. It's good. But yeah, okay. So gotcha. That's the first myth. Any other myths?
Yeah, the myth that cardio, this is one of my favorites, that cardio is the best form of exercise for fat loss. It's actually one of the worst.
Mm.
So I suppose you want me to dive a little deeper into that, huh?
Tell me why, Dusty, because I heard cardio is the way that you burn the most calories.
So which is true. In the short term, cardio does burn the most calories, which will aid in faster fat loss. But our bodies are adaptation machines. We're built to adapt to our surroundings. It's kind of a survival mechanism kind of built in. So the more cardio we do, so let's say you start running tomorrow, you start running 2 miles every day, you're going to burn a lot of calories on day 1. But day 30, if you've continued to do it every day, you're going to burn far less calories doing that same 2 miles because your body has adapted over time and it's easier for you to do. And cardio is also not, it's not anabolic. So you're not building muscle. It doesn't send the signal to your body to build muscle like, say, lifting weights does. So when you lift weights, you're sending a signal to your body that says, I need to adapt in order to be able to lift this consistently. So that's where muscle building comes into play. Your body adapts by growing more lean tissue, more muscle, strengthening joints and ligaments. And the more lean tissue you have, the more calories you burn at rest. So basically, it's a metabolizing booster by building muscle. So you're burning more calories over time. You don't burn as many calories lifting weights. Like an hour session of lifting weights is not going to burn as many calories as an hour session of cardio. But over time, you're building muscle, and you're going to be able to burn more calories at rest. So you're going to be able to eat more initially. So less is really more in this case. I hope that makes sense. I kind of went off there, but
no, totally. So what I'm hearing is cardio is like if you're working like a job to make money, but strength training is like a Roth IRA or something. So like a job, right? You have to put in time to burn calories. So cardio, you have to put in time to burn calories, whereas strength training, you still have to put in time, but once you build that muscle, it's going to continue to make you money in the long run. It's going to continue to burn calories in the long run because now you have this tissue that's more metabolically active.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's the perfect analogy, actually.
Gotcha. So
thank you for saving me there.
No, dude, it was great. So yes, so strength training is investing, okay, and cardio is working your job. So okay, got it. Any others, or is that, or was like the main two?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Help me out here. You know all the myths too.
Well, so I mean, we talked about this the other day in the car. I watched a video and I wasn't sure if it was a myth or not. Do you know what I'm leaning towards now? All right, so I have to know if I lose weight, will my penis get bigger?
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
I guess you'll have to embark on your own journey. Maybe gain a little weight, see what happens. I mean, it only makes sense, right?
Yeah, Well, I just saw it out there. I thought you might have the answers to that, but
I don't, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about that topic, so of big penises. So, anyways, well, all right. On that note, any additional thoughts, Dusty?
I don't know, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, we had a great date the other day. We went to Olive Garden the other day, got some breadsticks, some soup. That was nice. We bought some. We took a trip to Lewiston and bought some punching bags and bought a punch from a guy. He walked up to us with a huge python around his neck. That was pretty cool. We could talk about that. Dusty just stayed in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a little sketchy.
Yeah, thanks for the backup, man.
Well, I was watching. I was actually a little concerned for your safety,
Yeah.
but I was ready to jump out at any point and run.
Sure, I'm sure. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, well, cool, man. Well, awesome. Well, hey, where can people find you if they want to follow your stuff? Because you put out a lot of awesome content. Where can they find you?
So as of right now, I'm trying to be pretty active on TikTok. Fitrition PD on TikTok and Instagram as well. Those are my two handles. Facebook, I will be a lot more active with my hybrid Facebook account. So
Cool.
I'll start posting some information on there as well.
Yeah, because you're gonna be posting a lot in the lose weight, feel great, look great group, right?
Yep, that's the plan. Hopefully we'll be able to feed some good information to the community.
Awesome. And look, if you're somebody who wants a little bit of direction or needs some coaching, you want maybe some accountability, or you just want to work with somebody who's gone through this themselves, they've gone through the mental and physical lows and seen progress themselves. Dusty does one-on-one nutrition coaching, and he does a great job with it. The other thing with Dusty is he's like, he just cares so much about every person that he works with. And that's why I'm so happy to have him a part of our team, and like why I'm so happy to call him my friend. And like I really look up to him in that way, because sometimes I feel like every now and then I can give not enough you know what, even though I do care very much, but Dusty has a heart of gold. And if you're looking for a coach to help you get results and you want the accountability, but maybe you're not looking for the person that's like drill sergeant, Dusty is like a great coach. So message me or drop a comment, and yeah, you can work with him. And he's really nice.
Thank you for the kind words, my man.
Yeah.
That's that hits right here.
Right
Deep.
in the feels.
Right in the feels, man. So,
Right
but yeah, also people can, if they want, they can send me a private message. If they ever have any questions or anything, I'd be glad to help. So,
okay,
reach out. I'm always willing to help.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And hey, if you like this video, then go ahead and if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If Facebook, hit the like and share if you want to share it with your friends. Somebody needs to hear this, relates with them. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time, and we will see you on the next show.